good day to you all, no? I'm here today at the Bilis Kilos Headquarters Media Center, and I am Filoteo Santos, your guest host for the Vlogcaster Armandine channel today, no? And here with us are volunteers of the Bilis Kilos Youth Movement. Guys, can you please introduce yourselves for our viewers?
Araw po, sir. My name is Martin Pupos.
And I am Carlo Marquez.
So, yun, marami talagang resibo, madami siyang experience. Actually, yun, for health, he built a lot of hospitals, bagong hospital ng Maynila, then for the schools, marami ding ginawa ulit. Actually, no, I think his 10-point economic agenda was replicated from what he did in Manila, no? So, in his presentation of the 10-point economic agenda, which comprises housing, education, labor, employment, health, tourism, creative industry, infrastructures, digital transformation, and Industry 4.0, agriculture, good governance, and smart governance, can you name at least 5 most to least priority from the point of view of the youth? Then can you please explain it?
What's that? 5 least priorities?
Most to least priority from the
Number 1, education. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely education. Like, for me, well, I think everyone knows that education is one of the biggest core parts of the youth. You know, most of the youth are still studying now, and with the plans that Yorme has for the education sector, which is increasing the GDP ratio and giving more support to the teachers. I think it's important now, especially in the pandemic, where I see even my younger sisters, they're losing interest in school. If there's ways that we can improve and make children more interested in education in a way that was presented in the 10-point economic agenda, I think definitely that's a number 1 priority there. And then
Since
number 2,
na-mention mo yung education, no, tama lang din kasi meron tayong senador na si Dr. Carl Balita who is focused on this sector, on education. So I think, katulad na sinabi ni Carlo here, na education is the, what do you call this, most priority? Or the top priority, number 1 priority. I think magagawa nila to dahil sa tulong ni Dr. Carl Balita.
yeah, if we have to rank, I think they're all very important. But since we're being forced to rank, number 1, education.
Yeah.
And number 2,
Number 2, I believe it's health. Sakto din, we have Dr. Willie Ong. So, I mean, before I continue, I think yung 10-point agenda ni Yorme, no, he also connects it to his senatorial candidates. And it just shows that he gives value to the people around him. Kaya na-curate niya yun around these people. So, going back, number 2 is health. For me, health kasi considering that we're in the pandemic right now, nakakalungkot na we have lost a lot of lives because of this pandemic. Maybe some people were not fully informed on how they would take care of themselves. But moving forward, I think health is really a priority.
agreed. The third one, housing. Housing. It's amazing that the housing projects we've seen firsthand, like Basay Community and Condominium, being already functioning and inaugurated, and how much value it gives to the kids who, the more unfortunate sector. And I just recall Mayor Yorme mentioning that when he was a kid, he was always worried that when he got back home from school, that his house wouldn't be there anymore. And that kind of fear is what he sought out to eradicate. He wanted for all the kids and other families to have that assurance. Because if you know the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like once you have the basics covered, the basic needs, especially shelter, then that's when you can move on to the higher needs.
I agree. And then for the 4th, I believe food. Would you agree with me?
In the 10-point.
The 10-point. Is it? Agriculture, yeah. So the 4th one is the agriculture. I mean, just like what I've mentioned earlier, I come from a family background sa Mindanao. And because most people, I think they just see the 10-point agenda applicable lang sa mga taga Manila because most candidates are here from Manila, sa Luzon. But if you also consider people from the Visayas and Mindanao Islands, actually, yung mga agendas ni Yorme, enough na sa kanila yun eh. Magkaroon lang ng pagkain sa lamesa, magkaroon lang ng shelter, magkaroon lang ng maayos na health. Buhay na sila actually. And I think having agriculture as one of his priorities, madami mag-benefit. I've seen na itinaas niya rin ang antas ng pamumuhay ng tao, ng bawat Pilipino sa bansa. And it's through agriculture, yung one of the strategies na ginawa niya ito. And what would be our fifth ranking for the priorities and 10-point agenda?
Well, okay, this is more a personal one now, but I like the points in the 10-point economic agenda about the, focused on technology. Because I'm kind of a nerd also, build my own PCs. And I think, there's so much technology available in the world already. And Yorme has expressed his interest in, if they're available around the world, why can't they be available here? So, in those aspects, I'm just excited to see how much our country could improve just by borrowing prototypes already used in different countries.
And it's a good thing na pinili natin yung technology. Kasi I also remember with the recent senatorial debate, yung na-mention ni Dr. Carl Balita, I think one of the panelists there was actually impressed na Dr. Carl Balita is just one of the fewest senators na binention yung technology moving forward and also science. I pretty much know that most Filipino youth now are hungry when it comes to technology. And I think if we just have a president like Yorme giving importance to this sector, I think makakapantay tayo or mas mahigatan pa natin at iba nating kapitbahay ng mga bansa when it comes to this sector. And just like what Carlos mentioned earlier, I believe hindi lang si Carlo ang quote-unquote nerd. If we go outside of this room right now, I believe there are a lot of youth there now hungry and willing to get his support when it comes to this sector. Tama ba, Carlo?
Agreed. And again, I just like to point out, we picked our top 5 favorites, but I think all the points in the 10-point economic agenda are important in especially just raising the quality of life amongst all the citizens. And I love it because it's all comprehensive and detailed in how it's formed.
I agree.
So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the Vlogcaster Armandine channel.
God first.